Coming up on this week's show, we'll be breaking down the first trailer for Thor, Love and Thunder.
We'll be going through this week's big releases, including the unbearable weight of massive talent.
And we'll be speaking with the stars of The Lost City. Welcome to What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. I am Luke Owen.
And I arrived here today by taking the short tube journey between Charing Cross and Greenwich. Dan Layton.
A wonderful Dark World reference there.
Oh yeah, one of the best movies ever made. At top 30 anyway. At least. That's another reference. I've just done 2 in the first 5 seconds.
No, I know, but...
I'm really proud of myself
you
today.
You don't really think that, do you?
No,
because no one really.
You can't come at me this week because it's my special day. Because the Thor trailer's out.
Hey, I like Thor trailers too.
Yeah, but you poo-poo Thor 2 The Dark World.
Everyone poo-pooed the second
They're
movie.
all incorrect. It's watch it again is all I'm saying. It's got some merit.
Can I have an opinion from the room? Thor 2, thumbs down or thumbs up?
I see 26 thumbs up.
It's a thumbs down.
No, there's
thumbs
not.
Down.
He's lying. There
thumbs down.
In fact, a whole arena full of people behind the camera are cheering. They don't know.
Well, what I can tell you is that the third movie, Ragnarok,
very good,
was excellent.
Yeah,
was brilliant,
and akin to the first 2.
Exactly. And
I'm not going to ever back down on this.
And Taika Waititi is a superb director, an incredibly funny man, a very good writer. And we're back now for Thor: Love and Thunder with its very big cast that it's got now, because we've got Christian Bale and Russell Crowe added to the proceedings, and Natalie Portman is back. She's back. So, shall we watch the first trailer for this?
Yes, this will be like my 17th, 18th time of watching. I genuinely nearly had a little teary moment on the tube when I first saw it. So
this is only
to point out where it was. Oh, really?
This is only my second time watching it.
You're in for a treat.
Here we go. Love that classic Thor outfit.
Yeah.
Well. Very nice.
That ties in with something else I'm going to talk about later.
Retirement Thor.
Look at him doing his lovely little center meditation off his app.
Like Wim Hof.
Like center. Banger, by the way. When that kicked in, I had a heart flutter.
A bit of the Guardians there. I get the feeling the Guardians aren't going to be in this a whole deal.
I agree.
So I think that's them leaving.
Yeah. We're about to get a shot that absolutely this one sent me. They've made him Jack Sparrow.
Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it?
It just feels magic and ethereal.
That's very interesting. That's taken directly from the comics.
I saw the little side by side.
There's Tessa Thompson and
This is
Star-Lord. This shot here.
It's lovely braid as well.
That is such.
Wait.
Right.
Silence, please. 4. There she is.
Look at them.
Look at the triceps on the pair.
I was about to say, we just said then look at them, because what we're talking about is her arms.
Oh yeah, yeah.
massive arms.
Can we watch it again?
Do you want to watch just that last 10 seconds again?
Yeah. You were going to say something about the
title.
font.
Well, the font I was going to look saying this is, very much a Luke Owen thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bit He-Man, isn't it?
Not unlike Chris Hemsworth in many ways.
It is. It's a very He-Man-esque font,
yeah.
and I love it.
They're really leaning into that kind of like stylistic, comic booky, cartoony vibe for the whole thing, aren't they?
Yes. So first impressions from the trailer. This is, you said, like the 17th, 18th time
so I've watched it so many times, which I don't normally do for trailers, but something about Thor, who is my favourite of the heroes, because I'm well into all the mythology stuff, and I'm also into, arms. Sif was also, I was a big fan of Sif, you see. I like the whole, all of it.
Bring her back.
justice for Sif. So I was very into Thor anyway. So that was that. Then the trailer gave me moments of like Pirates of the Caribbean. The music, Sweet Child of Mine, is a song that a lot of us love, but was a very personal one for me when I was growing up. It was just so magic that I had to just keep watching on loop. And then I watched it on my big telly, then I watched it on my laptop, I watched it on every screen in my house so that I could possibly, you know.
And it also presents a different story that we haven't seen in the MCU yet, which is retirement.
Yeah, it looks very much like, I mean, that's the vibe I get, is that it's sort of a victory lap for Hemsworth. I don't know whether or not, I don't know contract details or anything like that.
I feel like it must be though, right? Because
it's giving me that vibe.
We are seeing, you know, the turnover now of talent within the MCU. Like Evans is gone, Downey Jr. is gone, Johansson is gone. Like, you know, Ruffalo is sticking around, but he's now very much
on the periphery.
On the periphery. He's a background character for other people's shtick.
Yeah.
And this does feel like this is, you know, we are bringing back Jane Foster, bringing back Natalie Portman to become Mighty Thor. So this is the send-off for Hemsworth.
Because he's spoken about how he sort of thought he was pretty much done with it, and then he had so much fun with Taika Waititi on Ragnarok. He was like, well, there's more in this.
There's one more to be done, I think.
Yeah. And I think there's something quite emotional seeing the sort of childhood Thor going all the way through, and not forgetting that Ragnarok, he sort of had his whole world pulled under, so he's very much looking for himself. Like with Ragnarok, and then with the events of Endgame and Infinity War, I think his whole sort of thought process about the world has sort of disappeared a little bit.
Yeah.
So there's a lot for him to sort of try and understand, and that idea of regaining family, and obviously he'd been missing Jane. We saw that in Endgame. Going off with the Guardians is sort of a way for him to try and find family. And the vibe I get from the trailer is he's still looking for that.
Yeah, I think he's just sort of looking for his purpose, really. Because like Endgame was a very reflective time for Thor. He had, I think, probably the most interesting character journey through that, because he failed in Infinity War. Yeah. And it's coming to the realization of that failure in Endgame and trying to overcome that failure and trying to sort of like what that means for him. And now it's, you know, he's going off on this adventure with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Asgardians of the Galaxy. And but like maybe he's just being like, do you know what? Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I have done everything that I need to do. And like, you know, because we have got a villain for this movie, which is Christian Bale.
Nowhere in the trailer.
Nowhere in the trailer.
Not to be seen.
Particularly, which is quite massive, because he's the God Killer.
Because you have that shot that was the side-by-side. That I don't know the character's name, but it is a god, isn't it?
I've got it written down right here.
Oh, queued you up.
That is Falagar the Behemoth, who was killed by Gore in the comics. And then, there's a shot that is directly lifted from the comics of that big behemoth that's laying there.
Because Gore goes on a whole god-killing spree, doesn't he? That's
because
the point.
We've got Zeus here.
Well, I was going to say...
Played by Russell Crowe, and they're going to Olympus.
Yeah, could you imagine we get Russell Crowe for all of about 3 minutes, and then Christian Bale's Gore comes in and just like wipes them out? What a statement that would be.
Because that's a really interesting idea then, which is this is a movie, what at least the trailer sets up, is that Thor is looking to retire, and we have now got a god killer coming after to kill a god.
I don't want to see that. I just realised that you said a lot of words there that I realised I didn't like very much.
But I feel like, that is, the final test for him in a way, is someone who is just like coming after like to end his life, just as he's looking to end his career.
Yeah. Or he's looking for some form of new purpose, new life. There's also the shot of Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie in a suit, a little bit like she's got confused that day and thought that she was doing Men in Black.
Well, and because Chris Evans,
exactly.
Chris Evans was there.
Yeah,
that was really a really good joke.
So close.
It's because no one saw the film.
Yeah. Anyway, there's something about the way she's sat there looking, where she's almost looking at some form of dead end, because there's New Asgard and she's in charge of New Asgard.
Exactly, she's king of Asgard.
If you've been a Valkyrie,
yes,
though, and you've been off
in
and
a suit, and business people,
you've got protocol and red tape. It's not really. So I think there's a lot, and then the Guardians are also in a way looking for their family, because Gamora's off, and they've still got each other, but Star-Lord's going to be, wistful about that. That was the last thing we saw of them, was the searching for Gamora kind of screen in the was it in the Benatar? In the Benatar?
Yeah.
So I think it's a movie about trying to find yourself, I think, and especially with Natalie Portman playing Jane again, Mighty Thor, that idea of finding your purpose, you're worthy of holding Mjolnir.
Well, let's dive into that, because I think that is kind of one of the big talking points coming out of this, which the news had come out a few years back that Natalie Portman was coming back for Thor: Love and Thunder, and she was going to be playing the mighty Thor.
And on the stage, they walked around and handed her Mjolnir. So like we've seen that from the beginning.
So that is, taken directly from the comics of Jane Foster taking over that role. But I was reading through the synopsis that was released by Marvel. So it's at the end here, it's just like, Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Tessa Thompson, Korg, and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster, who, to Thor's surprise, inexplicably wields his magic hammer Mjolnir as the mighty Thor. Together they embark upon a harrowing cosmic adventure, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
So it's the inexplicably there. Thor's surprise, inexplicably. Multiverse!
Yes!
She is from a different
I was thinking about this, because there is precedent of like a mortal taking on the mantle of Thor, right, in the comics. This is, I'm not a comic-y person, but with Thor, I'll do some digging. So I had read, was it Eric Masterson? So there's mortal precedent, anyway. Is this our Jane Foster, or is this a different Jane Foster?
That's kind of, because Mjolnir was, sorry, I'm trying this again.
Mjolnir.
Meow Meow.
Yeah.
Was destroyed.
Yeah.
We saw it, but, so now, go on.
But please.
No, you go.
Because in the trailer, it's
fragmented.
Yeah.
It's fractured.
Yeah. I've watched it 17 times.
Who put it back together?
Who put it back together?
Who put it back together?
I don't know.
Did she put it back together with a
bit by bit of glue?
Bit of super glue, bit of cut stick on there?
Just that PVA glue, which comes in the squeezy bottles.
She was trying to make Tracy Island.
This is an art attack! So who knows? Neil Buchanan put together Mjolnir. That's my new headcanon for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You're a head Buchanan.
Hey! Look at us go.
Anyway, I thought it was an awesome trailer.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited in a very earnest and child glee way.
Yeah.
And also in a slightly more adult way. I can't lie to you.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was pumped for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I still am pumped for Doctor Strange. But that is now like I can't wait to see.
You know what I mean? And I've said for a long time that I sort of saw Endgame as my Endgame with the MCU as a big fan. I was like, we've had that really incredible run. Nothing like this is ever going to happen in the movies again. It's probably the time for me to pass on with that kind of era of my life. And then they keep bringing stuff out, and then they give me this Thor trailer and they pull me back in.
Just when I thought I was out. Did you know it is the 60th anniversary of Bond?
I did know that, and I'll tell you why. Because they haven't stopped talking about it for a really long time.
And to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Bond for the next 25 weeks, 13 Cineworld locations will be showing a different Bond movie.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Because when they're just like, it's been loads of years of Bond, I'm like, okay, very good. Well, I very much enjoyed that Top Gear special. This is what I'm talking about. Show me the movies again. Exactly. Okay.
We can go up to the big screen.
Yes.
And watch these classic Bond movies, newer Bond movies, for the next 25 weeks.
I genuinely didn't know this was happening. You have just broken this news to me as we sit here. Yep. That's thrilling.
It's really exciting, isn't it? And we are kicking things off with From Russia with Love. So that's going to be the first one on the big screen this week. I'm going to list through the 13 locations. Okay. So grab your maps.
Did you hear that click just then?
No, I didn't actually.
It was good. I hope you got it on the mic.
Bring out your maps to make sure so you can find a Cineworld close to you. Basildon, Cardiff, Crawley, Edinburgh, Glasgow, Renfrew Street, London O2, Hemel Hempstead, Milton Keynes, Newcastle, Nottingham, Poole, Stevenage, and Sheffield.
If you're a massive Bond fan, get yourself a classic car and go to all of them. One each per week.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
it's good. There's a good vlog in that.
There really is. I'll be right back. I can't drive. But okay, which one can? Oh, well, road trip.
Road trip.
Renfrew Street, here we come.
Are you listening, Cineworld?
What would be your Bond of choice?
I am a... You Only Live Twice, I really like.
Okay.
I really like that.
I would. Skyfall is obvious because I think it's the best one, but also it was kind of recent. And since we're given this opportunity to go back and look at some of the classics, can I tell you what I have a really soft spot for? Live and Let Die.
Yeah?
Yeah.
More Bond is my Bond.
There you go.
I like the gadgets. Mm-hmm. I like the quips.
Yeah.
As much as we
the lasciviousness.
As much as we all love Daniel Craig's very serious, very gritty Bond. Yeah. Just like, where's the exploding watches?
Sorry, you haven't made a single pun.
Exactly, yeah. I don't care if you're drinking a glass of Carlsberg. Just like, give me a watch that has, I don't know, a grenade in it or something.
I would also like to give something like Goldeneye another go, if only to have Tina Turner's. That's the best. That for me is the best song, the best Bond song of all. Yeah. So I would like for that to be in full cinematic.
Yeah, as I said, I like.
End of sentence.
I love Roger Moore Bond, and I just think he got better with age. I thought the older that he got, the better as Bond he got.
Well, yeah, because he's played it 17 million times by that point.
And just still casting 20-year-olds as
That's the most Bond thing of all, if we're honest.
He's the best. Our brand new release this week, however, is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
With one of my favourite film posters of the year, which is starring Nicolas Cage as Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Did you see the clip they released yesterday?
Of them watching Paddington 2.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. We are spoiled this week for movies coming out because this one is something where it's like, it's a batty idea. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen it yet. I have not been special enough to go to this one.
Neither have I, and I didn't get to go to the unlimited screening that we had of this either. I wanted to, but I could not go. And then I saw the clip yesterday of Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal watching Paddington 2 and crying. And I was like, oh, I didn't realise I wanted to see this film this badly.
Yeah, well, fortunately, it's out this week.
So there you go. That's my weekend sorted.
I'm very, very excited for it. Because it feels like someone's just had an idea and gone, what if? And they've really let it flow. And then they've given it a budget and turned it into a movie. And now we all get to watch it together this week.
Also out this week is The Lost City, available in 4DX VIP and Super Screen.
I was a big fan. I thought it was very silly fun. I thought it was that nice little bit of a swashbuckling adventure with a little rom-com in there. Brad Pitt shows up for a good time, and a good time he does indeed have.
And we had the chance to sit down with Sandra Bullock,
Sandy B,
Daniel Radcliffe.
Radders.
Here's what happened.
I read the script and it was awesome, and Sandra was in it, and it was like, yes, I'll do that. Easy.
He's so good at these answers.
It's true. It's so much easier when they're true.
Bring it, Daniel Radcliffe.
So there is a scene in which Sandra and I are sitting, and at the end of the scene, there's a huge meat and cheese vortex that happens, and the SFX guys brought in these massive fans to blow it all around. So that's what we did in the wide. But when we got to the close-up, I got to very much enjoy watching about 10 people just belt feeding nuts and cheese into their hands and then flinging brie at Sandra Bullock.
Face.
It was a very
We said anyone who's
moment.
angry at me, because it was later on in the shoot, please feel free. Just be as vicious as you want. And then walks my assistant, Tamara Bunker. And she was a basketball player.
She's an athlete.
So I knew she had an arm, and I was like, what are you doing there? I thought we were going. And she was flinging stuff, and she wasn't picking like the soft cheeses. She went for like the apricots that had been sitting there for a week, that had already started drying beyond the dried apricot phase, and just let me have it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it brought him joy.
And brie is soft until it's
not.
at velocity. Yeah.
And you don't want to be pummeled by an aged Parmesan wedge.
Sharp. Cut you up.
Also out this week is The Northmen, Operation Mincemeat's Fantastic Beast, The Secret of Dumbledore.
The bad guys, Morbius, Sonic, and indeed, the Batman.
But what is your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is hands down The Northmen. I am evangelical about The Northmen. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen it
yet.
It
is so tasty. I mean, I have already given my Viking credentials with The Mighty Thor. But I was very excited for this movie because I like Robert Eggers. I like The Lighthouse. I like The Vivitch. And something about this felt like it could be something really special. Having seen it, it is a Hollywood epic. It is of blockbuster, gladiator, Braveheart scale with a bit of spicy little art house flair in there as well. Anya Taylor-Joy is just luminescent as per. Alexander Skarsgård's abs are next level. There is a moment in the trailer, which when it happened in the movie, he sort of catches a spear and throws it back. I wanted to jump out of my chair. I was so ready. It's a fascinating story. Do you know the story?
I do not.
It is the story of the Lion King. It is the story of Hamlet, which was based on an original Norse legend of Amleth. Shakespeare was very clever, you see, about a young boy whose uncle kills his father. And so the whole tagline of the movie is, I will avenge you, father, I will save you, mother, I will kill you, Fjolnir, the name of the uncle. And it's about this sort of vengeance quest, the idea of the cyclical nature of violence, about destiny versus free will. There are so many really interesting ideas in there, and I just think it's fantastic. And I want everyone to go and see it. I want it to make so much money because we don't see stuff like this very often. And I would like for Hollywood to, greenlight more projects like this.
I'm picking the Nick Cage movie because he cries at Paddington 2.
By all means.
Yeah. Dan Layton, you have got a Cineworld Unlimited card.
It is worn to pieces.
Yep, I've got one as well.
Scanned every 5 minutes. Oh,
Sat right here in my pocket.
there you go.
We've got a brand new trailer for it.
Stop.
Do you want to watch it?
I would love to.
Tickets, please.
Oh.
Feel unlimited with the most exciting card you can own.
It's just great to have an unlimited card because you can see any film, anytime, as many times as you want to go and see it. Which I have now used to see Sonic 2 a couple of times.
There you go. Well, this is it. Sometimes I'm just sat there and I'm like, what can I do? And I'm very fortunate that I literally live a 5-minute walk away from a Cineworld. So I just go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I walk and I bang and I'm in.
Yeah, and it's the sort of things you can take risks on films that you may not have gone to see previously. Like the Northmen, I wasn't the biggest Vivitch fan.
Right.
So I would have been, taken quite a bit of a step back away from it. However, like your review of it and the fact that it doesn't really cost me anything extra to go and watch it, I would go and take a risk on it.
It's fine. And I actually, this is weird. I like sometimes seeing a movie where I leave it and I'm like, I didn't love that as much. Because it, for me, feels like I'm really filling out my... I get stuff to talk about.
Filling out a taste card, if you will.
Hello. Oh, television professional Luke Owen.
Which is also a perk.
Back again.
It's also a perk of being an unlimited card
Yeah,
holder.
it really is. What is that? 2 for 1?
Absolutely,
On,
at certain restaurants.
Yeah, and 50% off Domino's.
Yeah, and
Pizza Hut.
And actually, if you're at the cinema, you get a percentage off your snacks and drinks as well.
Can I make a small confession to you?
What's that mean?
My Cineworld card's in my bag, not my pocket. I just didn't want to lie.
And we've also got unlimited screenings for things like Father Stew on the 13th of May. Which means you get to see films early, like the Lost City one that we had a few weeks back. It's like 3 weeks before the film came out.
Yeah, I mean, where I saw Moonfall. I love an unlimited screening because I enjoy very much going with that group of people who really are excited to see this new movie ahead of time. There's always a good vibe. There's always a good buzz and an energy. I saw Parasite in an unlimited screening a few years ago. That was really exciting. So yeah, I'm evangelical about this as well. I'm evangelical about many things. The Northmen and the unlimited card.
And you can also use it to book your tickets for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, available in IMAX, 4DX, ScreenX, and Super Screen, and Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey, indeed. I'm very excited. I wish it was in 4DX. Personally, I would like the scent of the afternoon tea. But there you go.
Well, missed trick.
I know.
But that's all we've got time for on this edition of What's On at Cineworld Cinemas. You can check out any of the movies that we've discussed by clicking the links in the video description down below. And if you liked these two idiots waffling at you, then you can get more audio waffle in the What's On at Cineworld podcast form.
There you go. Wherever you get your podcasts from.
I've been Luke Owen.
And I think I've been Dan Layton.
And that's What's On.